Forgot to do that originally. Is anybody else having any trouble with my internet access?
No.
Okay. Worst case scenario, I'd have to figure out how to plug this into my router directly. Got to get a good freeze frame for you, Sam. How about something like that? I figured out what the setting was that was causing it when I opened the other program. To give you the black spot, I apologize for that. All right. Click in the group chat privately or to everybody. You don't have to just say your answer. Just let me know when you've got the years all set. That way I'll know I can go ahead. Okay, so I'm gonna jump down. Okay, so we've got 300,000. That leaves us with book value of 600 minus the 300,000, which equals 300,000. Multiply that times the 50%, and we get 175,000. So the book value is being halved. So next year, book value is going to be 175. And so we multiply that by 50%. What's that?
Wouldn't the 175 be 150 since you're having 300,000?
I'm sorry, thank you. Never do math in my head. 150 times 50%. And so that equals 75,000. And so now we've got book value equal to 75,000. And we want our book value at the end of the year to equal the 22,500. So we have to subtract that. So 75 run out of space within this thing. 75,000 minus the 22.5. What's that? 52.5. Anybody else get that? I gotta break out the trusty calculator. All right. Okay, any questions there? And yes, Chris Baker also pointed out that it should have been 150,000 there on the second year. All right. Okay, so let's go back up to the original details, and we have the company expects to use the equipment for 275,000 hours. I was just checking the math on it. 4195, excuse me, 40 and 95 is 135, 80. On top of that be 210 or 215, and then 60. So the total would be 275,000. And so we can kind of do a couple different things here with this column. We can work out percentages. And say, okay, what's 40 divided by 275? This one's approximately 14%. So we multiply that times the what's that? 572.5. Here, 95 divided by the 275. So this one's 14.5, 34.5.
Couldn't you just find the rate of the depreciation? So you do the 275 divided by 600, and
Yep.
then okay.
Yep, I'll do that way too, down at the bottom.
Okay.
80,000 divided by 275. 29%. And then 60,000. .8%. Okay. All right, so for the calculation here, you're taking your salvage value, 600,000, minus the 22,500, and then, as Dylan pointed out, divide by the 275,000, and you're going to get, what do we have per mile here?
Wait, I thought you took the 275,000 hours and divided those by the 600 minus the 22,500.
No, because you want $1 per mile, right? If you did it the other way, you'd end up with hours per dollar.
Oh, okay.
So let's pull up the old calculator here. Not equals hours, sorry. 275,000 hours. So 5,250 divided by 275,000. Did I make a mistake? Okay, I get 2.10 dollars per hour. Anybody else double check that?
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
I got that too.
So now we just take the particular hours. And so that first year was 40,000. Multiply it by 2.10. We had 95,000 times 2.10. 80,000 times 2.10. And 60,000 times 2.10. All right, I'm just gonna pull out the answers so I don't spend 5 minutes using the calculator. It's a little clunky on my computer. Okay. Any questions there? Okay, let's move on to the next part then. Okay, 6.8 addresses intangibles. So remember, depreciation is for tangible, bless you, assets,
Thanks.
whereas amortization is for intangible, long-term assets. So our long-term assets, property, plant, and equipment. Whereas intangible assets would be things like copyright, trademark, patents. And so for this type, we had the 3 types of depreciation that we discussed. We had straight line, double declining balance, and based on the units of activity. For amortization, we use straight line based on the term of the intangible or the useful life, whichever is shorter. Okay. So it says it purchased a patent for $2,000 cash, and it says that they can produce the microchip for 20 years. Now, I don't know what our patent laws are, but we'll assume for purposes of the question that the term of the intangible would be 20 years. However, its useful life, and this is essentially when they're going to be able to generate cash from this patent, is only equal to 5 years. So we're going to use 5 years. And so 2 million divided by 5 is 400,000 per year. Now, the other thing that you want to note here up at the depreciation is that we use accumulated depreciation. For intangibles, we reduce the book value directly. So if we had, and this is what, I guess a legal right. In 2011, it would be 2 million minus the 400,000. And so at the end of the year, it would be 1,600,000. And then 2012, your end of year would be 1,200,000. And so on down 2013. $800,000 all the way down until it ends up being 0.
So it's very similar to straight line.
Yes. Yep.
It looks like it's straight line, but is this straight line or not really?
It is.
Oh,
It's straight line. There's just no residual value for it.
oh, okay.
All right. And then the only hard part is with most of these questions, they'll say a patent lasts X number of years, but its useful life is usually shorter. Okay, so the amortization expense would be 400,000. And I'll check the questions there in 1 second. And just the same note, amortization is never cash. Oh, EOI, end of year. Thank you, Juliana. All right, so let's move on to our next set of questions. Okay. So it says Sharp owns a copyright and a patent, both intangible assets. Copyright was acquired at a cost of $160,000 and the patent was purchased for $475,000. Has an estimated useful life of 25 years and 19-year useful life. Both have salvage values of 0, which most intangibles do. So, don't do that to me. In this first one, why don't you go ahead and calculate what our amortization will be for both of them. Once you get an answer, you can just privately let me know in the chat and I'll move forward. Okay, I'll give you another minute to wrap that one up. Okay, so we have the copyright. and that was 160,000. And they estimated that it had a useful life of 25. So that's going to be 6,400 per year. And then patent, which was 475,000 divided by 19. And I think most of you had 25,000 per year. And so the effect on the income statement would be both of those. Some of you combine them. Of 31,400 per year. And so we want the carrying value of each asset after 3 years of use. So for the copyright, it's going to be 160,000 minus 3 times 6,400. And the patent is going to equal 475,000 minus 3 times 25,000. And so this one's 400,000. 3 times 18, 4, 19,2. So,
I think it's 140,800.
Yep. Okay. 140,800. Thank you, Dylan. 800. And then explain how intangible assets have value. And basically the company or the owner has the right to either charge or produce the product to sell to the market and earn dollars, revenue, sales, whatever. The text version says based upon the rights and privileges that accrue to the owner. Guys are doing pretty well this morning. Any questions? Okay, so I'm going to move on. Okay, so this is a change in estimate. And so we can quickly talk about this one. It says that it bought a machine on January 1, 2008 for $80,000. And at the time it was purchased, it was estimated to have an 8-year useful life and a $4,000 salvage value. So originally their straight line was 80,000 minus 4,000. I'm trying not to laugh here because my dog is tearing up the other dog. My wife's trying to talk on the phone. And so 8 years. So 76. Uh-oh, here they come. Don't hide behind me. Mama always wins. That's Zoe. She's the boss, even though she's the tiniest. We have 3 of them, and this is Delilah over here hiding. She's the baby, and she's a lot bigger than Mama, but she lets her win. So we have 9,500 per year. And so we got 2008 to 2013. And so if my math is correct, that's 6 years. And so I'm going to multiply that 90 500 times 6 and get 57,000. So my book value in 2014 equals 80,000 minus 57,000. And so that equals 23,000. And so now in 2014, they change it and they say, okay, we're going to use it for 2 more years. And we're not going to have any salvage value at this point. So all we're doing at this point is we just revise the depreciation going forward. And so now we make the new calculation, straight line equals 23,000 minus 0 divided by, and it's 4 years. They added 2 more years and we had 2 years left. And so when we divide the 23,000 divided by 4, we end up with 5,750 per year. So the depreciation for 2014 would be 5,750. It's not really a complex question, but I did that kind of quick to get us through the class on time. So if anybody has any questions, I can answer them now. If not, you all are free to go. I will have office hours today, and I'll probably jump back at about 10:05 and then be here until my class time at noon. But if you don't have any questions, you're all set to go.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome.
What was 6.9 again, Professor?
I'm sorry, the answer,
you.
yeah, I'll scroll
Yeah.
up.
Professor.
You're welcome, take care. I'll just bold the answers for you. So this is the textbook answer there. This was sort of how I would express it. Go ahead, Markela. You can either type it or ask.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
You too.
Oh, I attached the wrong ones. Okay. I'll go in and make sure I fix that. Thank you for letting me know. Did I attach the right video? Shouldn't do drugs. Oh man, I'm still recording this. I'm just joking. Have a great day.